Hello guys, today's video is a very special video. It is our engagement announcement video here on YouTube. We are engaged. This is my fiance.
She said yes. She said yes. You guys asked a ton of questions over on Instagram, so we're doing our best to answer all of them. Everything from how I proposed to how we designed the perfect ring at jamesallen.com and pretty much everything in between.
Oh my gosh, it's so beautiful. Are you kidding me?
I'm glad you like it.
Don't you love it? Look at that.
You gotta wear it forever now.
I'm excited to talk to you guys about everything. The proposal, the wedding. We also have Lanka home now, by the way. So
there's a lot happening.
There's a lot happening. So you are about to see the candid Q&A that we shot the other day. So here we go. I think before we get into all of the questions that you guys sent in, which I'm so excited to answer because we were looking at them and we were like, these are so good. Alex is gonna kind of explain like what you were thinking, what you wanted to do, and like how you
what
did
I
it,
did.
and what you did do.
Yeah, I tricked you.
I know, you did trick me.
I'm a trickster. I'm Loki. I'm the trickster. I essentially just told Carrie, like, it had been a long time since we'd gone out and taken photos together, so I kind of cloaked the proposal in going down to the beach here in Santa Monica and taking some photos at sunset. Lo and behold, on the big day, I'm kind of a fool. I forgot a memory stick in my camera, but we brought a tripod and we had our cell phones, so I kind of like figured out a way to mount two cell phones on this tripod, and then I had one recording a video, and then the other I used the like self-timer part on the camera, and you know, when it was like 10, 9, I walked in frame and counted it down.
I thought you were taking a photo.
Yeah, I think at like 5 you realized that it was more than that.
Because of your face.
And then at 3 you said no.
Well, because...
And then at 1 you hugged me. So I think that was a yes, although it was a little confusing right off the bat, not gonna lie.
I wasn't saying no to the proposal. You know when you're so...
That's what it felt like.
Shut up. You know when you're so nervous, like you're just so, like, you're nervous and like you're realizing something that's happening and you're just kind of like, no, like, is this actually happening type of thing? That's why I said no first. And then I like kneeled down and hugged you and was so excited about it, and obviously then said yes, but it was quite funny that I was just like, no.
I was like, never mind.
That's what
Well,
happened.
thank you for saying yes later.
You're welcome. When did you realize that your relationship is the real deal?
Pretty early on.
Yeah.
When we fell in love, we fell like head over heels off of a gigantic cliff, like into an ocean of emotion. We fell in love hard and fast.
Yeah.
It happened quickly. We were like FaceTiming incessantly.
Because what had happened was we met, and shortly after we met and spent some time together, Alex had to go on a trip. And what I really loved about that was that we didn't have the physical aspect of our relationship right off the bat. We had to talk a lot. We had to communicate a lot. And we really got to know each other really well because we were kind of like torn apart, I guess, like not torn apart necessarily, but we had to be apart because of work for a while. And so the fact that we made it work and we still got to know each other even though we were so far away was really special.
And we like consciously made the choice to take it slow. And I think you only do that with somebody that you really like. So I think all of those things kind of came together, but yeah, I mean, we connected really deeply. Emotionally.
I'm trying to think when I realized it was the real deal.
We went on a vacation, a little weekend trip together to Ojai, and which is a little town north of LA.
Yeah. And
we had a great dinner, and then we were at a little bar and there was live music playing, and I think I was holding you, and that was the first time I told her that I loved her.
Yeah.
And then like 15 minutes later, she told me she loved me back. I was like on the edge of my seat, like, I love you.
And And then I said it on the bench outside.
Yeah, you made me wait 15 minutes before you responded.
Because I wanted to soak in the moment of you saying it to me. I didn't want to just respond. I wanted to
as a guy, when you say I love you to somebody for the first time and they don't say it back for 15 minutes, you're kind of just like, yeah.
Love, love, love. This makes my heart so happy. Such a beautiful ring. What was the turning point, the moment that you knew you wanted to take your relationship to the next level? Was it a slow build or did it come all at once? Thank you. I love that you love the ring, which I love it so freaking much. This is my absolute dream ring.
I can tell you as a man, I had very little idea of what to do, how to shop for an engagement ring, what was a good diamond, what was not, what all the different cuts meant, all the different styles, the setting. Honestly, it was pretty overwhelming. And when you're thinking about all the things that go into an engagement, almost the last thing that you think about, or at least me, was the ring. And then when it came time to think about the ring, I just realized that I was like way in over my head. So I asked Carrie to come with me to a little shop in LA to just get her ring sized and kind of have a better understanding of what she wanted.
You were also just looking at rings. You were like, oh, like his grandma recommended for us to go to like this specific place to like get it sized and looked at and like look at designs and try stuff on. Which, like, for me was the first moment that I realized that, oh my gosh, we're doing this.
Yeah, but we didn't really find anything that we liked. But it was good for me to get, like, an idea of what Carrie wanted. And then, 2 years ago, I was reached out to by a company called James Allen. And they said, when the time is right, let us know. We want to be part of your, marriage journey, your engagement. And I kind of forgot about it until we went ring shopping and couldn't really find anything that we liked. And I had this idea. It was like, ding, oh my God, James Allen, they reached out. Let me go look at that website. And when I did, I was really pleasantly surprised because it had so much information, so many options. You could see each diamond. They had this really cool like video, 360 video where you could look at the diamond at every angle. So selecting a diamond, selecting a setting, a ring, the sizing, it was just all so straightforward. They had like a little chat box there, so if you had any questions, they could answer them in the moment. And it was just like so much easier than going in person and trying to figure it out how we did that. So I was like really, really pleasantly surprised with the ease of using the website, and it made the whole process like that much less stressful. So, and the fact that when I gave it to Carrie, she was like, oh my God, this is my dream ring. I was like, oh, like,
yeah.
Yes.
And I got to be part of the process of, designing as well. Because, like, for me, I had sent Alex, like, images of rings that, like, because I am a strong believer in knowing, like, what your ring is going to look like that you have on your hand for the rest of your life. And so, for me, I knew what the design would be and the setting, but I didn't realize how beautiful it was going to be. So, like, in person, when I saw it, I was just like, after Alex proposed, obviously, like, all my friends and family were like, let me see the ring. And I have been non-stop recommending James Allen. I honestly cannot recommend them enough. And I'm so excited that they were part of this process because they were just incredible, like
so helpful.
So helpful. And it was just such a good experience. So if you are a guy watching this or you are a woman watching this and you are looking for a ring, I would so highly recommend them because I'm recommending them to my friends and family, so I'm going to recommend them to you guys as well. I just want to add my favorite thing about it is that they have this 40 times super zoom technology where you can see diamonds so close up, better than the eye can see, and they just like turns 360 degrees and you're just like
want it.
You can see everything that like is on the diamond. You can see like exactly what you're getting, and it's just something that no other engagement ring website has that I've ever seen, and it's just like really like sets them apart from everything else. So yeah.
Get it? Setting.
Oh, look at you. Yeah. Even the terminology. We learned so much about rings and diamonds throughout this entire process. Both of you love to travel, so my question is, what made Alex decide he wanted to propose in your city? I'm sure that spot on the beach will always be extra special now.
I think, like we kind of said earlier, I travel a lot, and I'm not home very much. And when I am home, I tend not to like really do too much other than just recuperate and get ready to leave again. So I think that, for Carrie and I to go down to the beach here and have like a special sunset is something that we talked about quite a bit, but never got around to doing because we're both always just like in grind mode, editing or doing something. So I think it kind of made it special because I almost treat LA as like a destination that I'm just visiting, even though I live here. And I think that for us, it was just something that was a little bit different. Even though it's right in our backyard, we don't do it very often. So going down to the beach just to watch a sunset is kind of like a special thing. Mm-hmm. And so using that as an opportunity to kind of hide the proposal, I figured was like a good way to do it. Also, I did want to propose before Thanksgiving.
Yeah, which was so special.
Because we had both of our families together in San Diego. And so I wanted to get that done before Thanksgiving so we could celebrate with all of our families. So it was, to be completely honest, it was pretty last second. The ring came on Saturday. I called my buddy Carlos on Sunday to see if he could meet me at the beach. And then Monday afternoon, about 4:00, it was go time.
Yeah. I really loved that it happened by ourselves the day before Thanksgiving because yes, I thought, oh, what if he does it on Thanksgiving? And in my mind, that would have been cool, but I didn't realize how much more special it was the way that he ended up doing it, having a day just the two of us, being able to celebrate that moment and go to dinner together, just the two of us, and then like going back to your hometown and having my family go there and then being able to celebrate with family was like the perfect situation.
Yeah, and one of the reasons I chose that beach is because even though it's right in the center of LA, it's really not that crowded down by the water. I didn't want to like go on the Santa Monica Pier, for example, and have, hundreds of strangers like, woo, good job.
Yeah.
I wanted to have a private kind of moment between us, even though, I was filming it on my cell phone and I had my friend capturing it on a nicer camera. The build up, the moment, that was just Carrie and I, and that's what I really liked about that spot.
And I think in your question, you said something that was what made it so special, was the fact that yes, we do travel so much and we do go to a lot of like really interesting destinations. And yeah, you could have done it like that, but to me, being home, so close to home, because we don't really get to be home that much, especially you, it was like something about it being home and just the two of us was just really special. So yeah, that's a long answer to your question. Will you be filming any wedding DIY planning videos? I feel like your wedding is going to be so beautiful and creative, also looking for some inspiration. I have not gotten there yet with my mind. We're just enjoying being engaged. We know that will come next year and we'll start talking about all of that stuff. And I'm sure like whatever I'm going through in life normally reflects through my channel. So I'm sure some stuff will come up, but my mind is nowhere near that yet. I know we're doing that next year, but right now, just like for the end of the year, like I'm just thinking about taking a vacation with you.
Vacation. It's funny because like when you get engaged, the first thing somebody says is, so when are you going to get married? And you're like, I just got engaged. Kind of enjoying that whole step, before I jump to the next one.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
We don't really know. There's not a date yet. We are kind of thinking maybe towards the end of next year, and we will keep all of you ladies and gentlemen up to date.
In the loop.
Yeah.
When did you and Alex start talking about marriage while dating?
Yeah, you started talking about marriage like 2 weeks after we started dating.
That is such a
That is not a lie.
You were the first person
so
that
true.
brought up being married.
Carrie, you brought up children.
Okay,
And
that's
I
different.
love babies too.
But I didn't talk about us having children. I just probably talked about babies. I mean, obviously, we can't remember that perfectly.
Carrie is such a nurturer. She's such a loving, motherly nurturer. And yeah, I mean, obviously, we're not going to throw the baby bomb out there yet, but we're throwing it out there.
You're throwing it out there. See, this is
We're getting a fur baby first, okay, people?
He talks like I'm the one who's like, let's get married. You were the first person that talked about like us spending the rest of our lives together. You literally were. And I remember we were walking outside, and I don't remember exactly where it was, but I remember thinking, oh my God. Like I was excited, obviously. I wasn't like mad about it at all, but I was like, oh my God.
Do you want to spend the rest of our lives together? No!
Never!
It's not that complicated. It's like when you're in a relationship with somebody who you love, and all you want to do is spend more time together and to do more things together, then it's just kind of a natural progression. And one day will come where, it just clicks in your head and you're like, you know what, I think I want to do this. And that happened. And that happened, I think, pretty early on in our relationship, although I didn't move on it for a while. I think we've been dating now for about like 2.5 years.
Mm-hmm.
And
it'll be 3 years in like the spring.
that was like enough time for me to know that I wanted to marry you.
We were just so on the same page. Like nothing ever felt like we were walking on eggshells about things, and it just sort of we talked really early on like we were spending the rest of our lives together. Like it was just casually. But I do remember when you first said something that made me think that was in your head, and I was just like, oh my God, he loves me. When did you both realize that you were in love with each other?
We took a little weekend retreat. Our first proper date, overnight date, was in Topanga Canyon. Yeah. And that was a really great evening. And then we had such a good time. We're like, well, what are you doing next weekend? And I proposed that we go to Ojai for the weekend, and we did, and we had such a great, I just look back on it now and I just remember this warm, soft light. We went hiking, we went in hot springs, we ate incredible Italian food. And I remember that night, after we had had a bottle of Sangiovese, and the vino was flowing through my veins.
Listening to live music.
We were listening to live music, good vibes, and I knew, and I was like, I feel like the time is right for me to tell you that I love you.
And you were holding me from the back, I was in front of you, and you had your arms around me from the back, and in my ear you were like, I love you, and I was like. And I just kind of sat there for a little bit, soaking it in. And then, like he said earlier,
15 minutes later.
Yeah. Then
it's way too long. Ladies out there, if your significant other, tells you that they love you for the first time.
And you do.
Don't wait 15 minutes to respond, okay? 15 seconds maximum.
Or do.
Or don't.
Okay.
It's yeah. Break my little heart.
Congratulations. What feelings did you experience when he proposed? Thank you so much. And I was nervous at first. I wanted to hide under his arm because I was shy, and even though no one was around besides us, I just felt immediately shy. That was the moment that he proposed. I also felt extremely happy and so freaking excited. Right after the proposal, I felt days after, I just felt so at peace, and that's the best way that I can describe it. Both of us kind of were we feel the same, but as the days went on, I felt at peace. And I mentioned this in my Instagram, the one that I my announcement of the proposal. I said I felt 3 ways. I felt at peace, I felt a sense of freedom, which I didn't expect, which was really weird, and I also just felt loved. Obviously loved because, yeah. And then freedom.
I mean,
yeah. Freedom, because I just felt like with Alex, like I can be so myself, and I think that that's really important in a relationship. And knowing that I get to spend the rest of my life with somebody that I feel more myself than any other time. Like I feel more myself with him than any other person in my life, really. So like being like knowing that I got to be with him forever in that way, I just felt free, because I was like, this is what it's supposed to be like. And like the freedom of like not having to date other people and go through all of that like stuff, like the security of us like made me feel free. And then freedom. What was freedom? Loved. And what was the other one? I don't remember.
I'm tired.
I love this question. Who is the first person you told after Alex proposed? The very first person I FaceTimed was my mom, of course. We got right in the car and we were heading to go eat, and I just FaceTimed my mom, and she was like, I know that is going to happen, because Alex called my mom beforehand. So she already knew, but yeah. So
the first person I told, we drove on the way to where we got dinner. We stopped by my grandma's house, and she just recently lost her husband of nearly 60 years, actually over 60 years.
They're the cutest couple in the world.
They have been married. They had been married for a very, very long time, and so we dropped in on my grandma, and we told her, hey, we just got engaged, and she cried tears of joy, and yeah, I look at their relationship as kind of like landmark and goals for us. Their relationship goals. It's not a lot of people nowadays who are married for over 60 years. So we're young enough. We can make a run at it.
They were so cute. And it was so special going to her house, because we were like knocking on the front door. She wasn't answering because she was watching golf, I think. And so then we like went around the side and we like knocked on the door, and then she saw us and she was like, oh my gosh.
And then Carrie's just like,
and she brought me into the kitchen, because she was like, let me see the ring. And I showed her the ring, and she was just like, oh my gosh. And she just like had tears coming out of her eyes, and it was just like so special, because
it was a good moment.
Yeah, it also just felt like an old school like movie. Do you know what I mean? Like ready to go like show your grandma like when it happened. I don't know. It just like it was just really beautiful.
It was good.
Yeah.
And then we all obviously called all the rest of the family and let everybody know. So
I FaceTimed Alex's dad from his phone and was just like, I was like,
and my dad's like, holy shit. He's from New Zealand. He was just like, he's like, well, we woke him up from a nap, and he's like, well, I'm napping. And then he just goes, Carrie showed the rock, and he's just like, holy shit.
He goes, welcome aboard. I can't do his accent.
Yeah, he's like, welcome aboard. I can't really do his accent either. It always ends up more Australian than it is. It's true. A Kiwi accent. It's hard.
We both have parents with accents, so we're always like, my mom. What was my mom like when you called her? Alex asked my mom for my hand, and like, what was she like when you did it? He does my mom's accent good too.
I don't wanna like get an angry stepmom. Sorry, what is it? Mother-in-law. I don't wanna piss off my mother-in-law, so I'm gonna refrain from doing accent impersonations.
She would not get pissed. I've been doing my mom's accent for her whole life. She would probably say something like, oh, Kerian? Okay, great.
Oh, you want to marry my daughter? Okay.
Okay.
Only you though,
because you speak Spanish. In Italiano. So, okay. Anyways, now what are we even doing? Okay, that is it for this video. I hope that you guys enjoyed it. Let us know in the comments if you have any other questions, or if there's like anything else you guys want us to talk about, because it's just really fun to sit down and like chat with you guys about this kind of stuff. And yeah, so just let us know. Also, if you guys have not already, go check out this man's channel. He has two. He has one with his brother, and he also has one on his own. I will put everything in the description box and like cards and stuff for you guys to check out, because he does such really cool stuff. Travel.
Thanks, babe.
A lot of like inspirational stuff on his solo channel. Let's go now. I hope that you guys are having a good day, and I'll see you soon in a new one.
Ciao.
Bye.
Ciao, bella.
Ciao, bella.
Dammi un bacio.
Mua.